Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Thursday, the 22nd of April. I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, in the cricket, we've got a test match, an international international T20, and also two IPL games there. We've got some injury news from the rugby. In the football, we've had the Olympics draw for the teams competition over there. We've got NBA action over in the States, as well as golf in the PGA and also the LPGA as well. Sorry, just the LPGA. Actually, the PGA hasn't teed off yet. This is your best way to start the day up with all the important sports news here on New Zealand Sports Radio. And let's kick off with that golf then. And in the LPGA, it is the Hull Air Premier LA Open. And Lydia Ko, coming off the back of her win at the Lottie Championship, is in action for this one. She has yet to tee off in the opening round. Her tee time is 8:10 this morning in New Zealand time. Corda from the USA currently leads away at 5 under par, with a whole host of people just one shot back on that one. So she's got the early lead, but there is clearly a long way to go in that one. Do keep it here at 7 a.m. every single morning as we will be bringing you updates as to how that tournament is progressing. Over in the NBA, then, just 5 games yesterday for them. The Knicks beat the Hornets 109-97. The Hawks saw off the Magic 112-96. The Clippers beat the Trailblazers just by a single point, 113-112. And the Timberwolves saw off the Kings 134-120. But the game that all our eyes were on were the Pelicans versus the Brooklyn Nets. This is Steven Adams' team. And at halftime, the Pelicans were leading by just 2 points in a tight one there. The Nets came back in the third quarter, though, to take a 1-point lead, and they held on to that in the fourth quarter to win 134-129. So the Pelicans, after winning the first quarter, lost all the ones after that, but it was tight all the way through. Steven Adams got 5 rebounds and 7 points in this one, and the scoring was led, as usual, by Zion Williamson with 33 and Brandon Ingram with 27 points for the Pelicans. On the Nets side of things, Kyle Irving with 32 points led the way for his team. So how does that leave the tables then? Well, over on the eastern side, the 76ers still lead the Nets and the Bucks. On the western side of things, it's the Jazz ahead of the Suns, and the Clippers with the Pelicans are down in 11th place at the moment. Moving on then to the football, and yesterday the draw for the Olympics was held. The women have been drawn with Sweden, the USA, and Australia, which will be a tough Group G there. USA obviously very strong in women's football, Olympic and world champions there. The men have an easier time of it, being drawn with the Korean Republic, Honduras, and Romania in that one. So avoiding the big nations there on the men's side of things. Moving on then to the rugby, and Luke Jacobson has unfortunately had a concussion setback here. Oh dear, bless me. So he will be missing the game on Friday. We'll have to wait and see how he comes back from that. Concussions can be very tricky ones that can be that can take time and to you can hard to judge how long to come back, but it's not expected that he'll be off for too long, hopefully, in that one. He's been having a cracking season at a new position of number 8 for the Chiefs. Moving on then to the, just remind you that the NRL Week 7 kicks off this evening with the Panthers versus the Knights. That's at 9:50 p.m. Get your preview of the whole round through the standoff show with Brad and Richie that came out last night. You catch recording on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or head over to our podcast and pick it up from there. Moving on then to the cricket, and I say a whole host of action in the cricket. Bangladesh taking on Sri Lanka in the test match there. And after losing an early wicket, Bangladesh are going well at 302 for 2 at the close of play on day 1. Iqbal scored 90 at the top of the innings, and Shanto with 126 and Hack with 64 are both still there. So a big total looming for Bangladesh. Sri Lanka in a tough place in that one. Pakistan took on Zimbabwe in their first T20, and Mohammad Rizwan scored 82 not outs, batting through the innings, while other batsmen all fell around him. Extras was the equal second highest score of 15. So Pakistan reached 149 for 7. In reply, Zimbabwe, no one really got onto that big score that Rizwan did that would anchor the innings. A couple of good starts with Kamund Hakagun with 29, sorry about that pronunciation, and Irvine with 34 there. But no one really stuck around to get that big score, and they reached 138 for 7 off their 20 overs. In the Pakistan won by 11 runs, and Rizwan, unsurprisingly, was player of the match. Over in India, where we have the IPL is taking place, and the Chennai Super Kings took on Kolkata Knight Riders. Super Kings went in to bat first. Faf Police scoring 95 not out, batting through the innings after Galwad helped him set a good foundation with 64 there at the top of the innings. They scored 220 for 3. Big total there as the Knight Riders tried chasing that one, but were all bowled out for 102. Andre Russell with scored 54 and Pat Cummins got 66 not out, but losing their first 5 batsmen to single figures really didn't help them. Chahar with 4 wickets for 29 runs, and Ingidi with 3 wickets for 28 runs led the bowling there. As Faf Police with his 95 not out got player of the match. Finally, the Punjab Kings took on the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The Kings went in to bat first and really struggled there. Top score was Agarwal with 22 and Khan also with 22 as they reached 120 all out with 2 balls remaining. The chief wicket taker, Kaleem Ahmed, with 3 wickets there, but they really were shared around. In response, the Sunrisers had a comfortable chase. David Warner put on 37 before Johnny Bairstow and Kane Williamson came together. Johnny Bairstow scored 63 not out and Kane Williamson 16 as they reached 121 for 1, winning the game with with 8 balls remaining. Johnny Bairstow taking player of the match in that one as the Sunrisers got the comfortable win. You have now started the day the best ways with all the important sports news. We'll be here this afternoon with the Super Rugby preview show. Myself and Cornflake will take you through that probably around about 5 o'clock. And then I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the morning sports briefing.